In 2023, there were some very questionable calls by the umpires, and in this video, we're going to take a look at what I think are some of the worst calls or weirdest calls throughout the 2023 AFL season. Now, before we get started, if you do like these compilation style videos, please do leave a like and subscribe. Let's get to it. After Lachie Jones and Brown from Port and GWS respectively are both going for the ball, both have eyes for the ball, somehow the umpire has seen that Jones gives away a blocking free. Looking at the replay, you can clearly see he only has eyes for the ball, and I think this is a pretty terrible call, especially when they've both just misread the ball, misread the play, and collided. This should have been no free kick at all, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? When Port Adelaide were playing Sydney at the SCG, Dan Houston has a little bit of pressure, not a huge amount, and he backs over the point line. The umpire has classed this as deliberate as there was not sufficient pressure pushing him over the line. I think this is a bad call because there are two defenders, two attackers right there, and the umpire says they have to be within 5 metres, and you can clearly see McDonald is well within. He's about 2 metres away. In a marking contest, Gardner comes out of nowhere and completely cleans up Mackay, and somehow this is not paid a free kick for pushing the back, or I don't know, he barely got a fist to the ball after the fact, but he's taken Mackay out of the contest completely. Somehow the umpire has not paid this a mark from Cam Rayner. I thought he held it long enough, he controlled it all the way down in my opinion, so that should have been a mark.
This is the exciting thing about having Cam Rayner up forward. He thought he might have held it long enough. The supporters definitely did, but they worked pretty well.
This one is probably a little bit borderline, but watching it live, I actually thought that McPherson got to the ball first and that it should be a kicking in danger. Watching the replay, it does kind of look like he does get his boot to the ball first rather than his hands. So this is probably the right call, but watching it live, I honestly thought that it would have been kicking in danger. After evading one tackle, Aliir fumbles the ball, sort of drops it on the ground. He drops on top of it, Artie Jones tackles him, and somehow this is not called holding the ball. We saw this all throughout the year that this was called holding the ball. For some reason, this one wasn't. Not so much a bad call on this one, the umpires just innocently pointed the wrong way, and you can see how it's confused absolutely everyone on the field. Everyone's running forward and then they got to run back. It's a little bit of a mess up. Definitely not one of the worst calls of the year, but you can see how much power pointing one direction or not holds in our game. After McPherson has a tackle laid on him and you can see the ball sort of spills out, you can see that even the players realise that it should have been called holding the ball. Everyone just stops, very confused, and then eventually it's just play on. Somehow Gardner is the one whose shirt is being held, and somehow he's the one who gives away the free kick. Any other forward, this would have been a free kick to him, but because it's Buddy, the umpires just give it to him.
He's a bit stiff there, Phil Davis.
Well, the only thing he could have been doing, Phil, is holding him in.
Yeah.
What did it look like to you?
Who remembers this one? Darcy Fogarty has absolutely cleaned up Murphy and somehow not given away a front-on contact free. You can see he does have eyes for the ball, but it's extremely careless. This should have been a free kick to Murphy.
Didn't get prime position. Murphy by Fogarty.
After the D's get a free kick, they decide to take the advantage, kick it inside. James Jordan gets the ball and he's slung tackled by Miller. All year this has been a free kick, and for some reason in a very tight game this wasn't paid a free kick. They've been trying to outrule this sling tackle all year. For some reason this one was allowed. Max Gawn was trying to run to the bench and Sam Powell-Pepper has blocked him a few times. I don't think there was that much in it. The big fella should have just kept running, just knocked him over, I don't know. But somehow this was a free. You see this in pretty much every single game all the time. People trying to run to the bench or run back to a position. They'll block them, they'll bump them all the time. Why is this one a free kick? Somehow McKenna didn't give away a 50-metre penalty. I guess the umpire didn't say stand, but you can clearly see he's done two movements to stand the mark, then he's jumped forward a little bit. Most times this would have been given a 50-metre penalty, which I think that's what should have happened here. What do you think?
Oh, that's 50 metres.
This also happens in footy pretty much all the time. You can see Vlosten and Jury are sort of hitting each other a little bit, fairly playfully. It's nothing too bad, too intentional. Somehow the umpires picked this one out as a free kick when they've both been doing this. Bit of Richmond bias. Or possibly anti-Ginger? After Jamie Elliott takes the mark, he puts his hand up just to let everyone know, including the umpire, that he's going to take the set shot at goal. Keith has half tackled him and overstepped the mark by quite a few metres. This should have been a 50-metre penalty, easy as. In this clip, you can hear the umpire say out Bo, and Brody Myercheck is standing the mark. You hear the umpire clearly say stand, and he steps off the mark. Should have been a 50-metre penalty straight away, but the umpire allows them to come back, which was very odd. I haven't seen this ever been done again. Jack Viney has gone over the line and the umpire is standing right there, and for some reason he didn't call it. After watching the replay, you can see that Jack Viney's feet are completely out. He is on a little bit of a lean, but he's definitely out. The ball is 100% out.
That one there is clearly, look how far over the line he is there with the ball.
The umpire is completely on the wrong side here to be making this call. You can see the ball does hit the ground. The umpire is obviously blindsided by the defender, but he should have been able to see how quickly he scurried after that to try and get the handball off, that this was not a mark, not even close. This ended up as a goal, so no harm, no foul, but you can see that Quayness oversteps the mark by quite a few metres, assuming it's been play on or not 15 metres. But the umpire hasn't called that, so this should have been a 50-metre penalty straight away. The umpire's blown their whistle a little bit too early on this one as McKenna drops the ball. He has to dive down to try and take the mark. He doesn't complete it, but the umpire has already blown the whistle as if it was a mark. Not a worse call, just a little bit of an oops. After a missed bounce in the centre square after a goal, the umpire has made the ball bounce well out of the circle, so he has to call it back and throw it up. And as he's about to throw it up, he just does this little half throw up to himself. You see Paddy Cripps tap him on the back. I don't know what he says, but it must have been pretty funny. This whole situation was a little bit strange. You can see that he has marked the ball and Libba continued to tackle him, so is it a 50-metre penalty? But then he's also kicked it, so is that sort of telling you, the umpire, that it wasn't a mark? I don't know. This one was just really weird. What do you think happened here? And that's it for the worst calls of the 2023 season. Thank you very much for watching. Do you think I covered pretty much everything? Was there anything in here that I've missed? Please leave a comment below if you think I've missed something. Let me know. And if you like these videos, please do leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.